Yes, welcome back to European Hidden Gem Stocks. Today I'm going to be deep diving Klarna, the Swedish buy now, pay later company that you may have heard of, that is also a neobank. Let's get into it. So, quick intro to Klarna. It is a neobank and a buy now, pay later firm. It trades on the New York Stock Exchange. It's around the mid-cap range, around 11 billion US dollars, 12 billion US dollars. And the CEO is a founder. That's one of the qualities I like. I won't even try and pronounce his name. I'll get it wrong. Roughly 3,000 employees, founded a while ago, but only recently went public. The insider ownership is very high at 21, 22%, and the institutional ownership is in the mid-range around 48%. And that's another reason why I like it. There's plenty more institutions that have room to buy it. Full disclosure, I do own stock. I do own shares in this company. So let's quickly cover what they do. Basically, in a few words, they're a neobank buy now pay later firm. They started out doing buy now pay later, um, similar in a way to Afterpay, but they grew rapidly from that and they turned into a neobank, and that's one of their main advantages. They started around Stockholm, a couple of people that went to school together in economics university. They wanted to get away from the whole payments and banking and credit card spiel, so they started Klarna. So it was originated out of frustration, which is why I like a lot of the companies that I own. They solve obvious problems for consumers. So they don't just do buy now, pay later. They do payments, they do banking, they do AI-driven shopping. And we'll get into this in a bit more detail later on. Oh, and by the way, they're in pretty much every developed country, US, Europe, um, yeah, Canada, everywhere. The main way they make money is from merchant services. That means when a merchant, so a shop like IKEA or H&M or something like that, offers Klarna as a option to do buy now, pay later with a customer, um, Klarna gets a cut. So Klarna gets a cut of that transaction, and offering that service, Klarna gets a lot of their revenue from that. Um, they also do payment processing fees, fraud protection fees, marketing tools for customers as well. Obviously, they're a neobank, so they make money from offering fixed loans and savings accounts and long-term financing. And obviously, they make money from advertising. So they have a platform, a retail platform that allows people to put products on their platform, and Klarna obviously charges them for the privilege of doing that. It's really easy for shoppers to get on the Klarna app, find something they want to buy it using either the pay in full or buy now, pay later, pay in full or pay in three option. And it's just they just make life easy for customers wanting to buy things and not have to, and totally avoiding the need to sign up to a credit card, which may take way longer. So it solves a lot of problems for customers, and that's one of the main reasons why I like it. And I like to understand with every business that I potentially invest in, I want to understand what problems they solve for customers and if they're consumer focused or customer focused as well. So yeah, it ticks a lot of boxes for me. Why do I like it? Well, in very simple terms, it's a fast grower. It's growing their revenues at 30%. Um, and we'll talk about valuation in a sec, but I think it's pretty undervalued. It's trading at almost a one or a two price of sales. Um, I think what they offer in terms of buy now, pay later is faster, cheaper, and better than credit cards. It's faster because at the point of sale, when you want to go buy something, the merchant will offer you to pay with Klarna. If you see something online, if you're shopping online, they will give you the option to pay with Klarna. All you have to do is press a few buttons and it's done. It's faster, it's cheaper, and better than credit cards. Credit cards charge you anywhere from 15, 20%. Klarna does not do that, and a lot of the risk is shifted onto the merchant if if the person can't pay. Uh, Recurring revenue is high because one question I like to ask when I buy a stock is, what's the opportunity for recurring revenue? Do people have to keep buying it or paying uh, for a product? And yes, every time someone wants to use buy now, pay later, or get a loan or advertise on their platform, they have to pay Klarna at a high cadence. Consumer appeal is great. The branding is great. I like the origins of the company and how they separate themselves from other buy now, pay later and neobanks. If you do get an opportunity, watch a few YouTube videos interviewing the leadership, the CEO, the one that I can't pronounce the name of, and he will describe why he started Klarna, what he's doing in the future, where he wants to take the business, how he's integrating AI and using AI assistants, using AI to personalize things that you could potentially buy in the future. Um, yeah, he's just visionary leadership is something I look for in a company. They offer the full shopping experience, and I'll get into this on the next slide. They another thing I like is they partner with um, big brands like Uber, IKEA, Nike, Airbnb. If you want to take an Uber ride, you can pay with Klarna. If you want to buy some IKEA furniture and you you wanted to break up the payments in three or four, then you can do that as well. So it's just they're growing their market, they're growing their market, they're growing their partnerships, and something I like to see. So the key question is, what is the future growth story of Klarna? Well, I see them doing more of the same, introducing more partnerships to the platform. They recently announced major partnerships with Qatar Airways, the Gap, other major brands like that. They have optionality, which is something I look for in a business. Are they able to develop new products, new services using technology? And the answer is yes. They have developed their own AI assistants. They have the ability to develop more banking products, like more membership tiers. They have the ability to generate advertising revenue on their platform. They have an ability to drive further operational efficiencies, lowering their cost of running the business. They've recently introduced premium memberships that offer perks to members. Um, and also stablecoins. The Klarna USD has been launched in partnership with Stripe, so that makes payments and transactions faster, cheaper, and easier. When a US dollar can travel on a stablecoin rail, it's very quick, very fast, very cheap to operate in compared to the in legacy financial send it might arrive in a few days system. And also the Klarna card, it's sort of replacing credit cards. So instead of charging a customer 15-20% on a credit card, the Klarna card will be replacing that with a buy now, pay later option that's split over four, or you can pay in full. Um, and also other lending products, I see that happening in the future. And also the general sector, I think, is growing. So, full disclosure, I also own Nubank in South America. I think that's a fantastic business, how they've overtaken legacy banking, and also SoFi in the US. I think people want digital first banking. They don't want to go to a bank, wait in a line, uh, talk to someone for 15, 20 minutes to resolve their issues. They want to push a button to, to, to solve a problem. That's how I see neobanks growing in the future. Overall, I rate Klarna a 9 out of 10. The best bits I like are it has a great brand with a high net promoter score. I forgot to talk about that earlier. It's a fast grower. They're growing their revenues about 30%. Their margins are improving. I expected them to, improve their profitability metrics in the next few years to be comparable with other established banks. Um, they have a low customer acquisition cost. They can get customers at the point of sale when a customer wants to buy something, and then they can get them to uh, sign up as to a loan later on, for example, using their app. Um, so they're superior. It's a superior product to credit cards. So credit cards charge you 15-20% interest on a balance. Klarna lets you pay in three or pay in four, with zero with 0% interest. The risks to the company are high competition. There are other companies that are doing the same thing in the buy now, pay later space and neo-banking space across Europe. Um, Obviously, the one is Affirm, uh, Afterpay, and other companies like that. There is a bit of lawsuit litigation risks. There are a few overhangs from that. And also the macro risk. So if we have an unemployment recession here in Europe or in the US or Canada or Australia, wherever it is they are, that could see a downturn in the revenues for the company. So that's an obvious one. It pretty much affects every business on the planet, but it is a risk nonetheless. Thanks for watching this Klarna deep dive, and I just want to point out this is not financial advice, and please don't buy or sell anything based on the content on my YouTube channel. This is always for education purposes, and consult with a financial advisor before making investment decisions. If you want to read more deep dives, please look into my Substack. I provide more analysis, more in-depth coverage of these companies, and I post an article every week or so. Thanks very much. Have a wonderful day.